So this is an antique butter mold slash press. Also, they're back here drilling for the well, so sorry about the noise, but this obviously molds it and has a really pretty pattern on top, but it also helps you press the excess buttermilk out. So you may be able to see it kind of coming out of the bottom. And the more buttermilk you get out, obviously the more pure the butter, but also the longer it will keep. And when you're cooking with it, if there's very much buttermilk left in, it'll kind of pop and sizzle because that's just kind of acts like water in a hot pan. So the more you can get out, the better. And you don't have to have one of these. You can also rinse it under cold water while you're pressing it with your hands, but I have come to absolutely love this butter press. It is well drilling day. We are so excited and so nervous. Just never know how deep they're gonna have to go, but we're most excited. And they got a bill, so that's really good.
It's well drilling day.
Finally some action.
Been waiting for rain to move out, and we have more rain coming in. And
a lot of rain.
Yeah, they called
big
us
storms.
And said, we're gonna try to make it out there before it rains again. I got the truck up here, which is a milestone, because that was an unknown.
Yeah, all the way up the hill.
Yep.
Now they're off getting the water tank truck.
Yeah.
So once they get that up, they can start drilling, and we have no idea how deep they're gonna have to go, how long it will take. They're definitely gonna be stuck up here overnight. There's bad storms moving in tonight.
Yep.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, it sounded like they were
see.
gonna try to drill the casing for the well today. He wasn't sure.
Yeah.
They'll get some done today, and then we'll see how things go from there.
Yeah, so it'll be shed, cottage. Behind the truck now is the root cellar, so the little some kind of pump house will be kind of out in front of the root cellar.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty central. And then soon too, probably within the next few days or week, we're gonna move the camper up and kind of reestablish our base camp up here, which we've been very ready to do.
Moving to high camp.
Yeah. So we'll see what that looks like. And with the power situation, lack of, we'll see when we can actually be pumping water up. We have no idea, but it feels really good to at least get the people here to do the thing.
Yeah, the specifics are a huge unknown. We have no idea how deep it's gonna have to be, but that's part of the process.
Yeah.
It's nerve-wracking, but at the same time, we're just glad that it's happening, so.
And we've always known that we want a well that's a big part of just being able to be more self-sufficient and have just better water access,
Water
better quality.
is hard to get with a municipality.
Yeah, so we've been keeping that in mind in our budget from the beginning. But of course there's a threshold that we'll start to get nervous. So we're just
It becomes all of our budget.
hoping and praying for like, we hit water at 100 feet.
Yeah, no big deal.
Great. So we'll see, but we'll keep you updated.
To just double check to here where we are, septic tank has to be at least 50 feet away from your well. It's also ideal if it's downhill. I don't know if that's always necessary for code, but.
And all we have is hills, so
yeah,
that was not a problem
well,
for us.
And then where the septic tank is probably gonna go
Back
is
behind.
at least 70 feet away. It's probably gonna be even further, more like 80 feet, so that's good.
Things to think about. But yeah, we'll keep you updated. I'm really actually excited to kind of observe the process throughout the day a little bit. Go team. My cat.
Okay, so they're putting in the casing for the well right now. They drilled with a larger bit, basically. I don't know how many feet. 60 feet? So it's around 60 feet. Yeah. And they were looking for where they would hit bedrock so that the casing can sit down in there and seal up nicely. And they said that's really good, 60 feet. They did one the other day that was hundreds of feet. So the less deep they have to go, the less casing they have to use, which is good for us. It's less money per foot. So right now they've got that drilled for the casing. They drop in a piece of casing, drop the next one down to it, weld them together, drop that down, weld those together. So once they get all the casing in, they'll switch to just the standard well drilling bit, and they'll start boring down through that. So that's where we're at right now.
So yesterday they came back to hopefully finish the well, and they may have, we're not totally sure yet. We did find water, which was so exciting. They went about 230 feet down, which isn't bad. He kind of estimated about 250 maybe. That would be best case scenario in some ways. And that's kind of average for around here, but we know people on our road who have done wells and had to go like 500 feet down. And then there are people who had to go 80 feet down. So it's just really interesting. And being way up on this hill too, we just really weren't sure. But 230 is not bad at all. It was 60 feet of casing, which is also not bad at all cost-wise. So they decided to let it kind of rest overnight and then come back today and see what it's doing. Is it consistently pumping out? I think it was 4 to 5 gallons per minute is what they said. And do we want to go any deeper? So yeah, they're going to be back at some point when it warms up today. And maybe keep going, maybe be done, we'll see. But either way, we're feeling good about it. And if they have to go deeper, it probably won't be that much more. I'm heading up the hill to check on well progress, and it sounds so different than before they hit water. So I'm hoping they hit a lot more water. So all in all, they were here for over a week, their trucks. They had to take a lot of breaks because we had a ton of rain and a ton of cold days too. And the trucks really can't function properly when it's super cold. So it took a while. And they wanted to let it settle and just see what it's like once it's kind of settled and undisturbed. So once they got back, they ended up drilling down a little further to 290 feet. And we were getting a really, really strong, like 5+ gallons per minute. So we felt good about that. They felt good about that. So we called it at 290. And it was not cheap. It was somewhere a little over 11 grand. But that's honestly about what we expected. It's getting like toward the top end of what we would hope for. So not horrible, but definitely a good portion of the budget. But to have quality water and a strong well is worth it for us. And again, we had kind of kept that in mind. I don't know exactly what we would have capped it at, but I think if we had gotten up closer to like 15 grand, we would have been getting really nervous. So all in all, not too bad. So they got the pump set, and this is our pressure tank, which we have not used at all. We're not gonna start using that at least until it is not at all freezing temperatures anymore. I don't know if we'll use it before the cottage is done or not. We'll see. So right now we hook the generator up to this power cord, and the generator can adequately pump the well. We had to get a bigger generator because our pump is pretty powerful. And then we usually are filling this 375, I believe, gallon IBC tote, and then that gravity feeds our sink and most of the things that we need to do. So it's been working really well. And eventually we will build some kind of insulated, cute pump house here once we kind of know where everything else is going to be once the cottage is done and stuff like that, and we'll see what lumber we have left over and go from there. But yeah, it tastes great. We're gonna get it tested to see kind of the mineral content and everything, see what kind of hardness we're dealing with, because we have to know that for the water heater. Whatever water heater we use for the cottage, we need to know, because that can kind of tell you what kind you need or can't have, basically. So yeah, we've been using it for a month and a half now maybe, and it was thrilling to get that first drink of our well water. So another project done, and we're really happy with it.